Have you ever wondered why so many people get hooked on gambling and these or even these, even though they know the odds are against them? So why do so many of us still feel that urge to play, to bet just one more time, to see if we can beat the system? It's not just about the money or the thrill. There's something deeper going on, something that's actually wired into our brains. Let me take you back to a time when I first really noticed this with my friend. I was at a casino with that friend, just a casual night out. We had this plan, stick to a small budget, just have fun, nothing more. And for a while, it was all good. But then, something happened. She started winning, not big, but enough to make her feel like maybe, just maybe, she was onto something. You know that feeling, right? Like you're on a roll, and nothing can stop you. That's when the first cognitive bias kicks in, the gambler's fallacy. It's the crazy idea that if something happens more frequently than normal during a period, it will happen less frequently in the future, or vice versa. In other words, if the roulette wheel lands on red 5 times in a row, we start thinking it's gotta land on black next, right? But here's the kicker. Each spin is independent of the last. The wheel doesn't remember. It doesn't care what happened before. It's just as likely to land on red again as it is to land on black. But at that moment, she wasn't thinking about probabilities. She was caught up in the moment, convinced that her luck was real, and that if she just kept playing, she would win even more. Spoiler alert, she didn't. But that's the power of these biases. They make us feel like we're in control when we're really not. Then there's the confirmation bias, another sneaky one. Have you ever noticed that when you are really into something, you start seeing signs everywhere that you are on the right track? Like you notice every little thing that confirms your beliefs, but you conveniently ignore anything that contradicts them? That's confirmation bias at work. When my friend was on that so-called winning streak, every small win felt like proof that she was doing something right. She kept telling me, see, I knew that I had a strategy. But the losses, oh, she brushed those off as flukes, bad luck, anything but a sign that maybe she should stop. It's like being in an echo chamber where all you hear are the things you want to believe, and nothing else gets through. And then there's loss aversion, one of the biggest culprits. This is the idea that the pain of losing is twice as powerful as the pleasure of winning. Imagine this. If you lose $100, you're going to feel that loss way more intense than you would if you won 100. It's why, even when we're down, we keep playing. We're desperate to win back what we have lost, to erase that painful feeling. But more often than not, it just digs us into a deeper hole. I remember the exact moment that hits her. She had lost more than she intended, but instead of walking away, she felt this burning need to keep going, to win back what she lost. It's like being in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. And the worst part, you're the one pulling yourself in. So now, here's where things get trickier. The sunk cost fallacy. This is when you keep investing in something. Time, money, energy, because you've already put so much into it, even if it's clear that continuing is a bad idea. It's like when you're watching a terrible movie, but you refuse to turn it off because you have already spent an hour watching it. You think, well, I've come this far, might as well see it through. In gambling, this bias makes you keep betting because you've already lost so much. You think, I can't quit now. I've got to get my money back. But the truth is, that money is gone, and throwing more into the mix won't bring it back. It's a trap. Plain and simple. So, why do we fall for these traps? Why do these cognitive biases have such a strong hold on us? even when we know better? Well, it all comes down to how our brains are wired. We're designed to look for patterns, to try and make sense of randomness, to believe that we have more control than we actually do. And while this winning helps us in many aspects of life, it also makes us vulnerable to these biases, especially in situations like gambling, where the stakes feel high and the outcomes are uncertain. And here's the thing, casinos know this. They design everything from the lighting and sounds to the way the games are structured to exploit these biases. Ever notice how there are no clocks or windows in a casino? It's to make you lose track of time, to keep you in that bubble where the outside world and your better judgment don't exist. And those near misses on the slot machines? They're designed to make you feel like you were this close to winning, triggering that gambler's fallacy all over again. But the good news is, once you're aware of these biases, you can start to see them for what they are, tricks that your mind plays on you. The next time you feel that urge to gamble, or to keep playing while you know you should stop, take a step back. Ask yourself, am I making this decision because it's logical or because I'm being tricked by my own brain? Recognizing these biases doesn't mean we'll never be tempted again, but it does mean we'll have the tools to make better decisions, to see through the illusions, and to protect ourselves from falling into the traps that so many others do. So next time you are at a casino, or even just thinking about placing a bet, remember, the house always wins. Not just because the odds are in their favor, but because they know how to use our own mind against us. Don't let them. Stay aware, stay smart, and most importantly, stay in control. Because at the end of the day, the only sure way to win at gambling is not to play at all. Here's a topic that you may want to learn more about and benefit from it. If you have other thoughts or experiences to share, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. See you around at IntelliWorks.